What's going on? What's going on? Welcome to episode 2 of Two Guys, One Hideouts. I am Banksy,
I'm Rumble 19.
and appreciate you guys stopping by and hanging out. We had to move yesterday's episode to today because of daddy duties, right? I mean, what other way is there to put it?
Hashtag bad light.
Yeah, so I myself got a little sick one here. He's still sick, home 2 days in a row, but you got to do what you got to do sometimes. So we made it work, and regardless, we're gonna make this podcast work. So I appreciate you guys stopping by. Lots to chat about. I feel like in the last day, like we've gone and added or changed up a couple things, like so much has happened in the past 2 weeks alone. I feel like in gaming, and there's probably still so much we're probably not even touching the surface on.
A lot of unexpected drops have came out this past week, 2 weeks. So it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, it's interesting because we knew talking about Apex before, and then we'll talk a little bit about Apex today along with some other stuff, but like just like gaming news in general, there's a lot of stuff, but it's like we could just talk about one game and fill up a show. But it's just crazy, but we'll try to cover as many topics as possible. We got some good stuff on the agenda today, talking a little recap of community night from the other night, about the upcoming tournament. We have some Call of Duty stuff, the Steam Deck, Netflix gaming, and then we'll talk a little bit about Apex Season 10, and then we'll probably switch it up a good amount. Our next show, we'll probably I wanted to do some Marvel this time, but give some people a chance to watch Black Widow, give people a chance to watch Loki, and then we'll just have a spoiler infested episode where we could talk all things Marvel. And I think it'd be good if we brought someone else on. Maybe we'll do a guest spot or something.
Another Marvel junkie.
Yeah, we'll get a good Marvel junkie. Maybe we'll put it out on Twitter and get a good Marvel junkie in there, and we'll chat a little bit. But yeah, I'll start off, just kind of recapping community night. Appreciate everyone that kind of, that stopped by, whether it was in the chat or in the games. I think we had a total of about maybe 8 or 9 people kind of stop by. So we pretty much had 2 full teams. Played a little bit of Search and Destroy custom games, and we did some Rebirth. We started from Rebirth, tried to get 2 lobbies into one game there.
It was a little difficult. There's a lot of lobbies, so it's kind of hard.
Yeah. We try to make it work, and then you got 8 people yelling in the same Discord channel trying to give call outs. I enjoy it because I like the madness, but it's just hectic. But
I like hearing other people's going through some shit when you're just I'm camping and staying that way.
Right. No, it's definitely fun. But again, appreciate everyone that stopped by. I think next time maybe we'll switch it up. Maybe do like some Fall Guys or something. Maybe we'll do Halo, or we'll do Overwatch. We'll try to do something with some crossplay. Regardless, that'll probably be the move from here on out. Just to make sure we can get as many people as possible. But we ended the night rating Frank. Frank's a good friend of the channel. I've known Frank, probably 1.5 2 years maybe now. Just one of my gaming buddies here. So rated Frank. If you guys don't know Frank, we can drop his name into the chat itself. But Frank's a really good friend of the channel itself, so we definitely had to go and show him love. But yeah, other than that, we'll kind of jump into it if you want to, kind of do a little quick reminder on our upcoming tournament.
Okay, so the next tournament is going to be on Rebirth Island. It's going to be on the 31st. Do we have a full roster?
Actually, yes. Yeah, so I needed to update that. Yep.
We are full as of now. So I don't know if we need a backup team or not, just in case we have a fallout. But we do have a full tournament. And then KB, who is our graphics designer, I guess, for the Hideout. He's been doing stuff behind the scenes to get this tournament to look top notch for being our first Call of Duty tournament. And then he will also be casting, which will be great because KB's pretty good at casting. Obviously, if you've seen the last tournament, but he knows this game, so it'll be even better for him. Be easier for him to call out and play-by-plays and stuff like that as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, I don't know if do you got some stuff for it? If there's an animal behind you, Rumble.
That was, I tell you, I'll never forget that. I was in the hospital bed, and it was like one of the few times I pulled up the Apex tournament, and I just happened to pull it up. And for those of you that don't know, the Apex tournament was on firing range, and you have those big monsters in Apex. And KB doesn't play it. He was just being goofy, and he said, "Rumble, there's a monster behind you." And Rumble literally, or Animal, he literally turned around. It was the funniest thing. But yeah. But yeah, just to kind of add on that, I mean, I'm excited for the tournament in general. Like, when I have probably played Apex 2 or 3 times the past week, which is unheard of, right? Like, that's literally all I play. But I've been to, not even just Rebirth Island and having fun with it, but I think there's, like, the whole, like, loadouts and trying to find a good loadout and building your guns, that whole element adds, like, to another level of, like, replayability with Rebirth Island and just Warzone, right? That kind of has been making me come back and play it more and more. Apex is, between the cheaters and ranked, is kind of, is unplayable and everything. I'm not having fun with it. I'm definitely having a lot more fun with Call of Duty, surprisingly.
The one thing I like about Call of Duty that making this tournament is going to be fun is either everybody's loadout is going to be totally different, or because there's so many guns.
Mm-hmm. And I will say this. Then, I will add this real quick. So, because it is a custom match we're going to have to create, we're going to allot the teams a certain, we'll go into this later on, but we're going to allot the teams a certain amount of time to create their classes, because you can't move your class in Warzone to a custom
public to private.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to create them. So, and I'm pretty sure when you do that in a custom game, you have I
believe you have everything.
Every
I'm
attachment.
not 100% sure.
I believe you do. So it's gonna be like top level, competition. So I'm excited for that.
The biggest thing I'm more excited for is the your aim to kill is going to be higher or harder to do than it is in Apex, just because of the hitboxes are all the same. There's no variables, so yeah, it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, I think there's going to be a good level. I mean, like, more than any game, I think this game, involves a lot more teamwork. It's a lot easier to 1v3 a team, and let's put it this way: Apex is harder in general, but I think if you're really good at Apex, it's easier to 1v3 a team in Apex versus it is to 1v3 a team in Call of Duty. Because Call of Duty's movement's so limited that you're like there, you're either sliding or you're drop shotting. In Apex, you get to a billion other things, right? So I think it's there's gonna be a lot more reliability or reliance on just overall teamwork in general. So I think it's gonna be really good, man. I'm excited, and I'm really excited that KB's hosting it, because he'd just be able to comment here on a game that he plays often. But just from a creative standpoint, I mean, KB is gonna definitely be able to bring a different level of entertainment. I mean, as you see, all these layouts and everything that KB already does are just top notch tournament layouts and whatnot. But I'm gonna put up on the screen here. I mean, KB, he's gonna be watching 10 different streams at one time. So he's gonna have a lot on his plate in terms of keeping track of what's going on, and he's gonna be bouncing around a lot. But if you want the full effect as to what's going on in general, you gotta watch the stream on the Hideout channel. Like, it's gonna be awesome. It's gonna be awesome to watch.
Yeah, and is it gonna be different? This is not gonna be your typical. This is almost like top tier, commentation of a game or a tournament that you don't get from. I don't know where you don't get it from, but it's like top tier. So
Yeah, no, you're not going to be having someone that's going to be jumping from the stream to stream and like, what are they doing? Like, he's gonna have the streams pulled up, but you obviously see the layout, right? You know, he's gonna be able to jump in into each stream much more quickly, and then just the layouts in general are just so clean, man. So if you guys already know, that's gonna be the 31st, not this Saturday, but next Saturday.
Next
so
Saturday. Yep.
really excited about that. There's gonna be a whole Hideout team in general that's gonna be playing in it, and then we'll have a couple other Hideout guys kind of spread throughout. So
if you're going to root for the Hideout team, you root for my team.
Yeah, there you go. So I'm not sure if all you guys are going to be streaming from your team, or at least you or whoever, but you know, we are requiring one person from each team to stream. So you know,
it's easier to collect, to see what's going on, so we can stream it as a tournament. So.
Exactly. And then, you know, just from a POV perspective, and then also just a cheating perspective too, right? You gotta have something backed up in case, you know, something goes a little south. Yeah. So cool. So jumping into Call of Duty, right? Our next topic, and just talking about nerfs and buffs. Not going to spend a ton of time on this because there was, what you mentioned, 39 guns
39
that got buffed.
guns got nerfed or buffed.
That's ridiculous.
It was unbelievable because they also included, you know, the Cold War weapons and the Modern Warfare weapons. So it's like the list is so long. But either way, if you're not good with guns, with certain guns, and you're good with other guns, just keep using them.
Yeah.
And that's what I like about Rebirth Island, is because the loadout drops so far, like random loot, is good in general. You sometimes don't even need to get a loadout. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, definitely. And I was gonna say that, like, there's times. You know, I'll say it straight up. There's someone specifically on my team for the tournament that is always like, let's get the loadout. Let's get a loadout. And I'm like, one, let's not give away like top tier positioning here for a loadout, because chances are, you know, if we have enough money for a loadout, we've killed enough people, we've done enough contracts, and in such a condensed space, you know, positioning is everything. And there's, like you said, there's good enough loot throughout that you don't necessarily need to go and get a loadout. Like, I can tell you the majority of the games I've won lately in Rebirth, I probably haven't gotten my loadout, you know?
I think that game we won on community night, we didn't even get a loadout.
Yeah, no.
We tried so many times, we just...
No, I mean, no, the very first game was horrendous. We did not deserve to survive that game. I know. I felt like I did jack crap, but I was right in the middle with everyone. Yeah. But we no, at the end of the day, you know, we used what was on the field. But the second game, where I played with KB and the other guys that we won, the very next game, I think we may have gotten our load up. I mean, we were just cleaning it up. I mean, we were just absolutely cleaning that lobby up. I mean, our positioning and our everything was just on point. But yeah, you know, I mean, what, you know, without, you know, and people in gaming, they can go on YouTube, they can go on TikTok, whatever. There's loadouts everywhere. Like, your go-to loadout right now, what is your go-to loadout? Or what guns are you liking the most at the moment?
Craig, because its recoil is like next to nothing. Okay, and then if I could pick up a Swiss, I'll pick up a Swiss. The Swiss sniper rifle is beyond extraordinary.
Yeah, that sniper right now is pretty ridiculous. I like the Krig. I was using the Krig a little bit, and then once I saw that the Growl was pretty, you know, meta at the moment, not probably as good as like the C58, even though the C58 is just a little too slow for me.
The C58 is, even though it comes fully stacked almost every time you find it, it's still slow, like you said.
It's just a slow. It reminds me of the Rampart from Black Ops 4. And it's just a slow kind of chugging type of gun, and it's good. Like, if you have cover with a C58, they're not knocking you, but out in the open might be a little slow. I prefer the Growl or the Krig, and then secondary for first loadout, it's gonna be AR and either my Pellington or whatever the other sniper I've been using lately. That's been the car. Or I'm doing Growl at either a combination of an MP5 or a Bullfrog, which is like the PP90 M1 that's from like Modern Warfare 2, which was like my shit. Krig and Diamati, okay. KB says get you a Bullfrog. Yes, I just mentioned Bullfrog's a good one. I like the Bullfrog.
Big Punisher, I'm calling you out right now. Get off the mother effing baseball games. Get on Call of Duty, because you're on my team and I need you to play.
Listen,
Call.
I know. Pun said in the chat that he hasn't been playing MLB The Show that much, but I'm calling straight bullshit every time I look at my Xbox freaking thing. Unless you sleep with that game on, you are on MLB Show all the time, motherfucker.
He must sleep with it on.
Throwing knives seem to be huge. Yeah, so throwing knives are crucial, man, especially in Rebirth, because knocking someone. I mean, Rebirth or Verdansk, but Rebirth especially because it's so close quarters. You can knock someone and throw a throwing knife right away, and there's no delay time to finish them. You can knock them and finish them right away, and then you walk over their body like scavenger. You don't need scavenger, but they're saying you can take all their loot and you pick up your knife right back. So it's the quickest way to knock and finish someone off. It's instant. It's instant. What up, Frank? Okay, another challenger entered the tournament. Pun says, besides today, when was the last time you saw me on Xbox Live?
That's
Probably
what I'm
like
talking about.
a day or two ago.
You need to play in practice, mother effer. Dude, you're killing me. Bubba is a big disappointment. I thought he'd be better. I'm calling him out.
Someone get Bubba in the chat. He just called Bubba trash. He just
Listen,
pretty much what he said.
I'm just frustrated because none of the teammates I have are playing, and it's killing me because
Crooked did say he's gonna get on there soon, but fucking someone needs to call Crooked and hit him upside the head and wake him up. I don't know where that kid's been, but I feel good about my team because I got Snake and Fada on my team, and I've been playing basically this map with them going back to Black Ops 4. So we have a really good rapport with each other. Faded's cousin's playing with us, and he's kind of he's good, but he's a loose cannon, so we got to kind of keep him contained. He see a loadout across the map, he'll run across the map. He don't care. So we got to keep him contained. Warzone is on my PC. You don't need to worry about me being on X. Oh my God, we're just kidding, Pun. Don't get offended, Pun. We're friends here. We're friends here.
All right, let's talk about the Call of Duty. the update, the recent update. It says loot the loot spawn for Verdansk has been updated. It has been changed. New guns, new version of certain guns have been moved. Gulag loadouts are different now. I've noticed that, and boy, is that a pain. Specialist token. I don't know if you've seen it in Rebirth Island, but there's a specialist token as well.
Yep. I've come across it by complete accident for sure.
Yeah, I know. I hit it and I started panicking because I thought I had to do something.
Yeah.
Sentry gun kill streak is now in, which I've noticed because when I picked it up, I thought it was a turret. So I was like, oh, I just put it here. Next thing you know, it's shooting for me. So it's like perfect. And then the red doors. If you have been in Verdansk, there has been red doors in certain areas of the map. If you take them red doors, they take you way the fuck away from where you were. So don't take it if you're playing as teams because you're fucked.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've seen them just in general and like videos. I actually went into a red door by accident when me and Bingo were playing duos. And thankfully, when I went in there wasn't a team waiting to fucking kill me. But yes, it did throw me on the other side of the map. And I was like, holy shit, Bingo, I found a red door. And then I looked at the map. I was like, I'm nowhere near you right now. But the red room or whatever room I ended up with was very, 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 very underwhelming as far as loot goes. Like I thought I was going to get like absolute god tier loot. At least from some of the videos I've seen, that's what they were doing.
Well, I mean, the vaults are where it's at now, but I don't think the vaults are in anymore. Wrong.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. Red doors are gone now. Oh, look at that. See, we were just playing. I think did they take? Was it today that they took them out or yesterday? It was sometime last week. Me and Bingo were doing it with the red door
because I think they updated it maybe.
Wasn't it like a day or two ago? I think that was.
It had to have been.
I don't know. I just know it was sometime last week. Me and Bingo were doing it, but I don't play Verdansk.
Oh my God!
I can't. I can't. I'll shoot myself.
I took it and I'm gone.
People always know where the other side is, and they're just waiting. Yeah. No, some of the videos I've seen is just a straight booby trap. But yeah, no, I mean, the one thing I will give them credit for is they do a lot of buffs and nerfs in Call of Duty, and like Apex, right? We've been talking about like the Spitfire being OP for like 4 seasons now, or 3 seasons, whatever it is. And then some guns that could really use a buff, and some guns that can use a nerf. And whether it's a mechanical thing or whatever, that it's just taking them a long time to do it, and they want to wait, or they're just stubborn, which we know there's Apex devs that are literally stubborn. They have made that very clear on social media. I will give Call of Duty that, man. The buffs and the nerfs come across more consistent, and I feel like it freshens the game up.
Oh,
like
yeah. There's
when
always-
it's like you're always looking for that new meta loadout. In Apex, if you last long enough and you kill people long enough, you're gonna get your preferred guns. You'll find your preferred attachments. That's it. In Call of Duty, you want your loadout, and you want the gun that you've built, and you do that by leveling up your guns. And I think that's something that adds to the replayability of Call of Duty, to me lately anyways, and that's something that's lacking in Apex.
I mean, it comes out to that there's more guns, but they have more people playing the game than they do Apex at this point.
But I mean, in terms of like just customization, right? Like in Apex, it's like you got your people. Like, I mean, I'll tell you, 90% of the time, I'm probably running the same or similar loadouts in Apex. And if not, I'm looking for a specific loadout. Like Bingo's always looking for a damn vault. You find a vault, ping a vault, But in Call of Duty, I mean, you can set up however many custom loadouts, and you're seeking to get that loadout depending on the situation, And I do really enjoy that. So I think that that kind of brings me back. And then when they change the meta, you see people out there trying to find the new meta, and that's not something you see in Apex. Let's put it that way.
No.
A lot of work by Activision to build a new player base the last 2 games. Yeah, no, I mean, I
think Infinity Ward just kind of screwed him over the whole Call of Duty game.
So kind of going into switching up gears here, specifically talking about Steam and their Steam Deck. This thingy majiggy. What is
the Nintendo Switch of Steam?
Yeah, what's going on here? So this is a handheld device that's Steam, and it's always laugh at the name Steam. It just sounds weird to be in the gaming community, but Steam created. So Steam partnered with AMD to create Steam Deck's custom APU, and it's optimized for handheld gaming. So this is essentially your Steam library in your hands. When you log in, you got your Steam library. It shows up like any other PC. You'll be able to find all the games that you've purchased that are in your Steam library, and you'll be able to play exactly where you left off. So this is pretty, I mean, this to me, this is kind of out of the blue. I didn't know about this until literally when I added it. So I don't know. What are your initial thoughts on this? Is this something that's going to stick around?
So they've been working. Well, here's the problem. They've been working on trying to make a PC gaming handheld device for a while now. Not specifically Steam, but I would love to have my Steam library in my hand, AAA titles. But the only problem is, if you're playing, you don't have the memory like you do on your computer. So are you cloud streaming? I mean, it's what it says is cloud saves, but I mean, some of these titles are big name AAA titles.
Yeah,
I would love to see what it looks like. I know APUs can only run so much, but you're running on a smaller screen, so it might be fine. It might be perfect, actually. But
yeah, I don't know. I totally get what you're going with that. I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, shit. There's some full-on computers that have issues running AAA games. I mean, imagine something in your hands. So, yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, just general features. It's gonna have Steam chat, notifications like you would in Steam, cloud saves like you mentioned. So you'll start playing when you start playing on a PC, you'll pick up right where you left off from the deck itself, or vice versa. Remote play, so you can stream games from your home PC to your deck, no matter where you are, which is kind of crazy. And then you have the store at your fingertips, and then the general community where you can, keep in touch with your friends and whatnot. So, Yeah, no, I think it's interesting. Here's a peek at the price points, and then it kind of gives you an idea as to what you're getting. So I read that initial pre-sales are struggling somewhat. I think that's to be expected, um, just because of the hesitancy. Um,
The
I mean,
biggest thing
people
is
have been saving up for so long for building a PC, especially like how big gaming PC, gaming on PCs has been the past year. And if you got people that have been saving for months for a GPU just to get their hands on one, right? And then now here comes along a Steam Deck, and it's like, okay, this is interesting. But I don't think people are gonna drop what they're doing to get one. I think it's just more of a, if you've got that extra cash, you'll pick one up. But I don't see anybody breaking their back to get one of these.
the hesitancy. I could see why is because of the storage. Like I said, I
Mm-hmm.
mean that's a lot of money and not a lot of storage.
Yeah, KB says brand new product. People are nervous. Sales can't be expected to be that high until they see what they can do. No, absolutely. I mean, people aren't gonna go out of their way to purchase something that. I mean, I don't even know if it's been demoed just yet. But I couldn't find a video. But it'll be really interesting to see. I mean, you're talking a $400 to a $650 price point with a max of 512 gigabytes. I'm sure there's room for expanded storage on there. I would hope. But yeah, I would like to know what the battery life on one of those things is. Can't imagine
It can't be that.
can't be that it can't be that. I mean, the thing stressing itself out just to run a game, probably just at decent settings. So
That thing's got to get so hot in your hands too.
yeah, that's true. That's true.
So
I don't
hot in your
know.
hands.
Do you think this will be successful at the end of the day?
It's a step in the right direction. I think. I don't think it's going to be successful off the bat. But I mean, if it comes out, well, the problem is it's too much like the Switch. That's where I fall.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting. It's definitely more of a luxury than anything. I mean, people aren't gonna just game off of this. Um, I think it'll be a cool thing, but I'm gonna put this under the flop category. I don't think this is gonna take off. KB says just watch the hackers get them day one and put Steam out of business by destroying all the games. I can see it. I could see it happening.
Yeah.
100%. So heading on over to the next topic, we're talking Netflix gaming. So Netflix announced on July 15th that they hired a gentleman named Mike Verdu, who's a former EA and Facebook exec, to lead efforts
for an
Oculus Rift, and he's gonna kind of lead the charge of Netflix in the gaming community. So what does this kind of mean? So right now, Netflix reported that they're, in terms of growth for subscribers, in the span of 8 years, this has been their slowest growth period. Now, I can imagine, I would love to see the numbers. I can imagine at the beginning of the pandemic, they probably saw a lot of growth, right? People are home. And it's probably growing, but now a year into the pandemic and people sharing their logins, it had to slow down. I would love to see how much money they lose on people that actually share their logins. If everyone had their own individual, if every household had their own individual login, how much money they'd lose. I would love to see a dollar figure.
But probably one of the biggest reasons why they're slowed down or subscriptions are going away is because they don't have The Office on there anymore.
I know, man. They fucked up when they dropped The Office.
I was so upset about that.
They fucked up. The Office, The Office streams on what now? Peacock?
Peacock.
And The Office, literally, The Office is the one thing
that was keeping that.
Yeah.
Going.
Yeah.
I fall asleep to every night.
I don't. My wife watches a lot of those Netflix original series, so that's why we have it. But I don't open Netflix at all. The only time is maybe like to play like Schitt's Creeks in the background or something. But before it was Office. Like Bingo's a big Friends fan. See, and Bingo always has Friends going on in the Office. For me, that's The Office. In the background, for me, that's The Office. I would just play it. So I didn't messed up for sure there. But they have other competition too now, right? Like, Disney Plus has been out for a little bit, but everyone's got a streaming service. Like Disney Plus is obviously a big one. And I think Disney Plus is like their biggest challenge right now or their biggest competitor, but they still lead like subscription based like video services. I saw that they have 209 million subscribers. That's insane.
That's a lot.
That is
Can you
insane.
imagine that was Netflix started out by just sending you out a DVD in the mail. I
Dude,
remember that.
I remember. So my favorite movies is Rounders, right? And it's a poker movie. And I remember I had the DVD, but I couldn't find it, and I was just in the mood to watch Rounders. I don't know, and I went to Netflix to see if it was in the library, and this is back in the day with Netflix, and it said not currently in the library. Click here or whatever it was to request a DVD to be sent to you. Like the idea of that now is just mind blowing. Like that was a thing for Netflix. Like what's actually I think Rounders is on HBO Max. So I've been playing that in the background all day long. It's on HBO Max right now, along with Friends. But yeah, man, it's just it's come a long way. It's come a long way. Definitely crazy. So kind of going back to the video game. So on they announced they're going to offer video games in its existing subscription plan. So it's not additional, and it's going to be focused on mobile gaming. Is that right?
Yeah, they're going to start with mobile gaming, get their way in, get their foot in the door. But you know how people are with mobile gaming. If you're a gamer, mobile gaming's not really your. I want to say your the thing you want to do.
You're just
But
glued to your phone.
well, I mean, you heard the big moans and groans about Diablo when they said they were going mobile. So
Yep.
I mean, but it's their foot in the door, trying to get themselves into the gaming world, which is it is what it is. You want to try it,
So I was thinking like, okay, as a service, they're slowing down, right? They've seen their slowest period of growth in 8 years or something like that. So I was like, okay, gaming's huge right now, right? Just it's always been big, but it's a really big it's an industry in the hundreds of billions. So I was like, okay, they want a piece of the pie at the end of the day. So I did some research. So gaming makes perfect sense to go along in terms of like overall media, and the global market for video games, I did a little research today, $178 billion, the gaming industry. And in 2023, it's going to cross $200 billion. That's crazy. You know, there's obviously a lot of motives, right? They have to find different avenues to take to continue to grow as a service. But when you're talking $200 billion industry, it's kind of a no-brainer, right? Just a no-brainer to go there.
So that was the big thing. A lot of games are being made into movies as well because a lot of people like Rob McElhenney from It's Always Sunny. He's a big advocate, trying to make it more popular that games that sell way more copies make way more money than the actual movies do. And he's trying to promote that, hey, these guys make way more money than we do, and they don't get any response out of people, the media. They just get the name of the game and that's it.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to promote it. So that makes sense being $200 billion in 2023.
That's crazy.
So for Netflix, I wonder what they're going to do is they're going to start tapping into the making movies out of the games, and they're just trying to reach themselves into the gaming world in general. But
yeah, that's a good question. Like, you know, whether or not I didn't even think about that. You know what? I was thinking just gaming, right? Like, are they getting, you know, there's gonna be a Netflix video game studio that either they produce their own games or, you know, like Redbox, right? Like at Redbox, you can, I don't even know if that shit still exists, but you can rent movies and games. So I was thinking, okay, if they can have like some Netflix based games that you can stream on your device, I don't know. I don't know exactly how it would work, right? But that's what I was thinking, was that they would produce something along those lines. But I don't know, it'd be interesting. Pun said I watched Netflix, but mostly for behind the scenes of last year Formula One season. I actually saw that popped up in like my recommended. I gotta check it out. That's interesting.
it's interesting that it's getting this far because I remember back last summer on Gaming Dad News, we talked about streaming services now trying to touch into gaming in the future, and now it's becoming more real because Netflix is talking about doing it, and I believe was it Amazon? Is it Amazon that dropped that?
Yeah, Amazon dropped New World or
New
whatever it
World,
is. Yeah,
New World, yeah, they just dropped a new game
and it's super
and they're-
popular.
Yeah, so I mean, it's becoming more and more of a thing, and being this close to possibly easier accesses to games would be even better. But who knows? I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say like at the end of the day, it's all good things for us, right? You know, competition is good for the consumer. You know that because that just pushes people to put out a better product at the end of the day. That gives us more choices and just gives us more options in general. So I'm all about it. Let me ask this though, and I'll ask you this, and I'll ask KB and Bingo and Pun in the chat, and Frank if Frank's still there. Think video games, right? Now think video game like adaptations to the big screen. Like you've got like your old school Mario movie, you know, different things, right? What would you say is your favorite movie that's based off a video game? And think about it. Think about it. We'll take a second here because there's some really good ones. Let's put it this way: they're usually all really bad, but they're so cheesy that they're good, right?
are you ready? Are you ready for mine?
Yeah. See, Frank says they all stink. KB says Ready Player One. Okay, see, I love Ready Player One, but that's based off a book.
Oh, but it was so good.
It was so good. I was literally gonna start playing it again the other day. But I think that's based off a book. But it's cool that it incorporates all, you know, all of the games. So all of those games. Wreck-It Ralph. Okay. Wreck-It Ralph is actually that's a good one. That's a good one.
Do you want to hear mine?
No.
Oh.
What do you got? What do you got?
Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with it. You can't go wrong. Okay, but what were your thoughts on the most recent Mortal Kombat? Did you like that one?
Oh, that was so violent. It was awesome.
Yeah, I actually liked it. A lot of people were like, eh.
Kung Lao was a badass motherfucker until he died.
Dude, we'll get into the new Apex Legends character, but he screams Kung Lao to me. KB says right, but it's a video game movie. But wow, talk about it. No, I know. I mean, it's a video game, but I mean like based off of a specific
that's got all video games in it.
I mean, that's what I loved about it, and just the lore and you seeing all the characters. That's why I like Wreck-It Ralph too, because you get. I mean, even Space Jam, you know, this most recent one, it's not very good, but you see all these references to, you know, video games and movies that WB owns, and just Game of Thrones references. You see the Night King in the freaking crowd, like it's hilarious. Street Fighter, that's a good one. That was such a bad movie. They do need to remake Street Fighter though. They can make a good one now. Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Well, here's another thing: is they also made games after movies, and the only one that I could think that was decent or good was the Lord of the Rings trilogy video game from like PlayStation 2, Xbox era, and that was my favorite set of movies to games.
That's a good one.
Games to movies.
So I would have to say, so like I'm really big into like dystopian type movies, like think like Hunger Games, right? Like kind of end of the world type stuff. But you're like society is like kind of, you know, end of world or whatever. And I wouldn't say it's necessarily dystopian per se, but it's definitely far into the future. But you throw in, I like dystopian. And then you throw in like a lot of retro vibes into it. So think Ready Player One. So like Ready Player One is dystopian in the sense that it's in the future, and you have like these like economies that are stacked upon each other, and then you have like this like all-seeing power above you, right? That's dystopian in a nutshell. But then you have these retro vibes, right? You've got the Back to the Future car, you've got all these 80s and 90s video games. So I love that. I love dystopian mixed with retro. So I really like the movie Tron, and my favorite like musical acts, like whether you think band or artist, is Daft Punk. So Daft Punk did all of Tron's soundtrack. So I love retro, like I said. So between Daft Punk, the retro vibes, the dystopian vibes. And then visually, Tron it just looks badass, even though Tron Legacy, they need to make a sequel. But whatever. Disney's actually, I don't know if you guys know this, Walt Disney World is making a Tron Legacy roller coaster as we speak right now.
Yep. Over by Tomorrowland, right?
Yep. So it's funny. Years ago, we had taken my son, my nephew to what used to be like Goofy's Bernstein, whatever. It's like a little roller coaster, really mini roller coaster.
Go through the barn, right?
Yep. And then there was a sign that said Tron something, and I thought it was just an Easter egg. Well, fast forward, they're finally actually it's almost done, and that ride actually exists in Disneyland China right now. But anyway, Tron, I would have to go with Tron. I'm very passionate about Tron. I love Tron. JCVD Street Fighter was Jean-Claude Van Damme Street Fighter was amazing. Detective Pikachu, I love Tron. I like the Assassin's Creed movie. Okay,
that was a good one. I didn't mind it. It wasn't the best, but I didn't mind it.
I do need to watch that one. I need to watch that one. I don't think I've seen that one. Do need to watch that one. Cool. All right, so let's jump into that was a good conversation about the video games. We'll see. At the end of the day, we'll see what Netflix does. At the end of the day, I think it'll be good for us regardless as the consumer. So jumping in to Apex Legends Season 10 Emergence and stuff about Seer, the new legend. So today they dropped the Season 10 like teaser, I guess you could say. The Season 10 trailer, gameplay trailer is gonna get dropped on the 26th. But I'm gonna play for you guys real quick the Season 10 teaser that dropped that's gonna show off who Seer is, and that way you guys can get a good idea as to his abilities, and there's a lot of Easter eggs as to what to expect for Season 10. So check this out.
Change. I see it in everything. I see it in a boy rocked by tragedy, transform his pain and defy reality. I see it in the warrior who must choose between their new life and the annihilation of their home. I see it in a girl tortured by revenge, embrace hope when love awakens her heart. I see it in me. A boy born under a bad omen, turn his tale into a legend. Change is relentless, but that does not mean it cannot be beautiful. True nature. Know that you are not alone. Change comes for us all. Chaos has purpose. All of us thrown together, so the flame can burn its brightest. Change. Fight it and fall. Accept it and rise above.
Oh, they could easily do it.
Sorry. Yeah. So real quick, my bad. I said Mirage in my feels. I can definitely feel that. I'll give it to Apex. They know how to make trailers. Yes, for sure. They definitely know how to make the trailers, man. They just need to make an anime series already. They have enough lore behind each of the characters that they could do it. They could do it
easily.
So initial thoughts. What are we'll kind of cover. We'll kind of break down the whole trailer. But what are your thoughts on the character and everything? Does he look like someone that you would be interested in playing?
Okay, so my thoughts are, as of right now, he looks like someone that they had to make a counter to Revenant. He's stealthy, seems long, slender like Revenant. They needed probably another legend to compete with him as well. That's how I feel about it. But until we see his actual gameplay footage to see what he can do or what he can do up against other teams in fights, in battles, we won't know until the gameplay trailer comes out. So as of right now, I just feel like he's a counter to Revenant, to be honest. So
yeah. I can see that. And we'll cover his abilities here in a second, but he definitely he's kind of, to me, he's like a crypto bloodhound. He's definitely like I guess you could say like kind of like the all-seeing eye type of character, and I'll cover kind of his lore here as well. But he's definitely someone that allows the teams to scout ahead. So I think he's gonna have some really good value in the comp scene. And and when we go over his abilities, I'll explain why I think that. But just so POIs, we know World's Edge is going to get blown up in season 10. If you play the game right now and you go where the chambers are, or the vaults, I guess you can say, it's like an earthquake. So what's going to happen most likely is Harvester with the beam is going to pretty much blow up that entire area. I think Train Yard's going to be gone, and Harvester is going to be gone. So it's going to, I think what you see in the map there is just basically nothing but volcano area. I'm pretty sure that is where Harvester is right now. So yeah, there's going to be a better reveal as to World's Edge when Tuesday drops. But yes, that's going to be one of the biggest changes, which is crazy because World's Edge is already a preferred map over Kings Canyon and Olympus. So the fact that they're changing it again, it's interesting. But new weapons. We are getting a new weapon, the Rampage LMG. I don't know if that's the gun that they showed them loading something in the chamber.
It looked like they threw a thermite in the freaking gun.
Yeah, that's what it looked like. But I also know they're adding something. I think it's called like Dragon's Breath or something, that you can specifically use it like on the Sentinel to make it a little faster in terms of just shooting. So it'll be interesting. But there's a new weapon. It's called the Rampage. It's a LMG. Kind of the description that's been provided to us so far, and again, we'll get more on Tuesday. It says meet Rampart's newest invention, the Rampage LMG, with a surprising source of firepower. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what the value of this gun is. Yeah, and then we know Rampart already gets a buff when it comes to using LMGs. Frank says Apex needs another medic character bad. Yes, it's pretty bad when the combat medic in the game isn't even the best medic in the game. The best medic in the game, in my opinion, is Gibby, because he can put a fucking shield over the whole team. So yeah, so real quick, Seer, a little background on him. I think I had a photo of him right here. There you go. So his background, right? So this is what's Apex lore, right? They get so deep with this stuff, but it says a prophecy foretold that a child was going to be born cursed with the mark of a moth, and this appears to be the root of Seer's ability. So I was able to snatch EA Play was earlier today, and I was able to snatch a little clip from EA Play where they talked a little bit about Seer and his abilities specifically. So let me go ahead and play that.
Kit. So while you're aiming down the sights, you'll have a heartbeat sensor that will give you hints as to where an enemy might be. If you think you've located them, you can use your tactical, which sends out some of those drones out of your chest and will actually reveal and track the enemy's location. The ultimate is really powerful, especially in certain gameplay situations. You can send out hundreds of micro drones and create a sphere around an area that you choose, and all enemies that are moving quickly through that space are tracked.
So if that was a little low, so if you didn't catch that, so his passive, when you ADS, he basically has a heartbeat on his gun, and it allows you to gives you an idea as to where your enemies are. His tactical sends out drones out of his chest and reveals where the enemies are, essentially. And then his ultimate, you send out hundreds of micro drones and you create a sphere around an area that you choose, and any fast enemy movements in that sphere are tracked. So kind of going back to like how I think this will translate to comp. A lot of times in comp, they rely heavily on third partying, just like ranked, right? But especially in comp. So I think if you were to set up a sphere, whether two teams are going to essentially meet. Now, there's obviously got to be like a time limit on how long the sphere stays there, right? But whether it's instant or it sits there, a lot of times when you push a third party, the determination of whether you win or not is understanding whether or not each team has traded, right? Whether there's at least a person knocked on each team, so you have numbers. By having this sphere, and if it allows you like X-ray vision, it gives you a good idea as to how many people are knocked or not. Will really allow you to know whether or not you can overtake that building, whether it's worth pushing them, and that turns into kill and placement points. So I think from a competitive standpoint, that's a lot of value because yes, Bloodhound can scan, right? And yes, Crypto can use his drone, but Crypto cannot move while he's using his drone. What this sounds like is you can place the sphere and continue to move around. So I think there's a lot of value in him. But like you said, until we see the gameplay trailer, it's going to be, we don't know, right? We don't know just yet. But I like the idea of him, kind of this recon legend. But like Frank said, I would have much rather had a medic or a really strong buff to Lifeline to make her more of a valuable medic.
What I feel is right now is Apex either, like I told you, so I feel like they had it in their back pocket and was just waiting to drop it, or they just been working their ass off just to send some stuff out to us after all this debacle between Save Apex, Twitter, and the whole hack. Who knows? But I just feel like this was kind of rushed.
I mean, so let's put it this way. I remember seeing a leaked photo of all of their legends.
Yeah, I'm
talking a long time ago. Yeah. So I remember seeing a picture of Valkyrie. So Valkyrie came out in season 9. I remember seeing a picture of Valkyrie in like season 6 or something crazy. So I'll be honest. I don't remember seeing Seer. But I remember seeing Valkyrie, I'm talking multiple seasons in advance. So whether or not they like fine tune people or legends last minute, or, maybe depending on the direction the game's going and how comp looks and player base, maybe they kind of determine whether or not they want to release a character in a certain order. But a lot of these characters they already have. But it'll be interesting. It's interesting to see how they come up with these abilities and exactly why they release these characters in this order.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I guess I don't know what. I don't know what to expect. I mean, it just feels so unexpected because I remember texting you. Was it last week? I said, "Yo, did you see Apex just dropped a video?" And you were like, "Wait, what?"
Yeah. So the Thrill Seekers event, was that it?
Yes.
Yeah. I will say in terms of events, they just had way too much back to back. I mean, you're talking, you had the Revenant Heirloom, the Thrill Seekers event directly after the Revenant Heirloom.
And then directly after that was the tease trailer of Seer.
And then they started doing the Outlands videos for Seer. And then here we are a couple weeks, basically what's going to end up being a couple weeks after the that event, the Thrill Seekers event. You're talking a new season. Now we know we get a new character every new season, so that's expected. But the Thrill Seekers event probably probably should have waited until next season, because another thing we're going to get next season is ranked. We're going to get ranked arenas. So, which is a whole nother topic. But yeah, it's pretty interesting nonetheless. But regardless, Apex is always pushing out content. Apex is all about taking money out of our wallets, and they do a very good job of it. Pun said Xavier Woods did an awesome job hosting the event. I wish I saw more, man. I like how involved he is in the gaming community. I wish I got to see more of the event today. I just got to see the Apex Legends portion, but that's awesome, man. I'm glad to see that, because him being so involved in the community is actually pretty cool. And we share the same first name, so I like him even more. And then real quick, just to kind of wrap up Apex, we are going to get ranked arenas, right? We're going to get a bronze to a predator ranking formats. There's going to be an emphasis on wins versus kills. So even if you do have a game where you get a ton of kills, it's not going to be like the Battle Royale mode where you'll still get KP. It's strictly you moving up is going to be heavily based on wins. So because they want to put more of an emphasis on the team aspect of ranked gameplay. And then they have a very interesting way of how they're going to do matchmaking for ranked gameplay. Something called MMR. And it's basically like if you're in silver, but you're playing to the skill level of a platinum player, then you're going to continue to get put into matches like plat type lobbies. So whether or not that it's good so here you go. So if you find yourself as a ranked silver, but you've been consistently playing as a platinum player, the system's going to go ahead and start matching you against other platinum level players. And if you win those matches, you'll get even more arena points. So you'll be able to get to platinum even quicker, essentially. So you'll get incentivized playing at a higher skill level, but still technically being at a lower level. It'll be interesting to see how that works. I do think there's a portion of that in ranked already, and just in their skill-based matchmaking in general already, which is because I remember they tried to explain it to people before, and people were like, what is this shit? It should just be based off KD. But yeah, that's going to be interesting. But one thing I do like is it's not going to be like a certain number of points where you get locked in. So like, for Diamond, I think you need like 7,200 RP in the Battle Royale. But if you're at 7,200 and you lose a game and get minus RP, there's an adjustment, right? So you don't drop below Diamond. In arenas, you can drop ranks. You can drop not just from Diamond 3 to Diamond 4, you can drop from Diamond 4 to Plat 1, which I do like, because it's just going to be a heavier emphasis on people wanting to win their games, and I think that's going to be really good. Now, the solo queue experience is going to suck, right? Because if you solo queue and you pop off and your team doesn't, you're going to hate solo queue even more, because at least in ranked now, if you pop off in ranked, you're going to get your points no matter what. With the emphasis on winning, there's going to be a little bit more of a challenge there. I will say this though, the amount of arenas maps that they have so far, I like. I do like that. They released the new one with Thrill Seekers, and then there's going to be more arenas maps that are going to be coming out as well. So definitely excited about that. But yeah, I mean, it at least gives arenas a purpose, because arenas is stale without being incentivized with some sort of ranking.
There's really no reason to play it at this point.
Yeah, Bingo said so playing with you will screw me over. I mean, technically, when you play in my lobbies, you're playing at, not for nothing, probably at the highest level lobbies. I mean, my KD is over a 2, and I think the average KD in Apex is like a 1. So I mean, it's you're already playing in hard lobbies, but in ranked arenas for sure, it's going to be even more of a challenge, I would imagine. But I will say this: in ranked arenas, it's 3v3, man. You ain't got to worry about no third parties. You know, it's a lot more even keel across the board. So it's gonna be all about teamwork. So we can be any team, man. But yeah, anything else you want to add, Rumble, about Apex? I think we covered everything.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't played Apex since we were pushing this grind for this tournament, so
Yeah.
I put Apex to the wayside.
Apex is on the back burner for me too, man. Season 10 will be interesting to see what's going on with that, but we'll see. But yeah, we'll
why don't they work on cross
progression,
and then I'll be more excited.
Yeah, big facts.
Oh, give me cross progression, and I'll be happier than pig and shit. So.
So quick recap, guys. Next tournament we have is the 31st, not this Saturday, but the following Saturday, Rebirth Island. Next community night will probably take place sometime in August. Gonna try and get a big group together again. We'll most likely do something fun like Fall Guys, Scribble.io, something where it's not so combative like Call of Duty and we're screaming all the time.
Scribble.io.
Go. Yeah, we got to get Snake up in there. Oh my god, it's freaking classic. And then our next podcast is 2 weeks away from today. We're doing this every 2 weeks. So we have a channel in the Discord. Hey, KB says KB Cart. If more people had PC, I'd say KB Cart. We have a lot of guys that play on console. That's the only thing. That is the only thing. But there's a Discord channel, guys. If you guys aren't part of the Discord already, make sure you guys come and join. We have a channel in the Discord called 2 Guys 1 Hideout. So if you have any topics, anything you guys want us, any topic ideas or anything in the gaming news, sci-fi, comic related that you want us to jump into, just let us know. We'll talk about it. I know Pun recommended talking about New World, and I mentioned, hey, put that in the Discord because we'll kind of rely on that using that. So maybe we'll cover New Worlds in 2 weeks. It just came out, right? The beta. And then I think the game officially gets released at the end of August. So maybe we'll touch base on New World and see where it's been at since, it's been released. The beta's been released anyway. But I think next, let's switch it up. I think we're going to look at getting a guest speaker for our next podcast. And we're going to touch heavily on some Marvel. Let's do maybe a Marvel themed podcast. And we'll talk some Black Widow. We'll talk some Loki. We'll talk upcoming Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We'll make it really nerdy and fun. But yeah. Anything else, Rumble?
No, we pretty much covered everything.
We had a lot to cover. That was a big document.
All knows I expect my team to play their ass off until our tournament. Because I can't carry, my back hurts too much. I just can't do it.
Listen,
Pun. Root for Team Rumble under 19 underscore.
I'm excited to see what chat brings.
All
right, Pun. Make sure that you keep track of how many kills this guy gets every game, because he's talking all the shit right now. So you make sure that you keep track of what he's doing and not doing, and then when the very next podcast after the tournament, you come in here and you let us know whether he was just blowing smoke or what, because he is he's saying he's gonna have to carry y'all. He's saying it. Well, I guess we'll find out. But I'm so excited for that tournament.
Yeah. So stay tuned to possibly a big tournament.
Yes.
$500 cash
prize pool. Yep.
So
and just a heads up, if you got those noties on for the Hideout going live, you will probably see a couple Hideout going lives here in the next couple days. Just testing out a couple things. They're not actual streams. The next stream will most likely be live stream. Will most likely be the tournament itself. So feel free to jump into those test streams and talk shit in the chat. I'll probably still be there, but just the heads up, we got to do a couple more test streams, and we're almost at affiliate as well. And as you guys know, all subs and donations and bits that we get once we become affiliate, we're just going to go right back to the stream. It's going to go right back into tournaments. It's going to get reinvested into the community itself. So let's go ahead and raid someone. I just saw someone just go live that I would love to raid. Her name is Jaya, the sensei. I know she's a friend of the communities. She's also a friend of Pun, and she's also a friend of Frank's. So I say let's go raid Jaya. She's actually watching the season 10 Emergence trailer right now on her channel. So let's go raid her, guys. Everyone in the chat, let's blow her up with whatever emotes you got. She is most likely going to be playing Apex, I would imagine. She's got good vibes. And if you guys don't already follow her already, give her a follow. Like I said, you guys will not be disappointed. Bingo says, what else do I do in chat? Chat?
Look pretty? I don't know.
Throw some shout outs out. I haven't seen a shout out yet. Shout out Frank. Mentioned Frank earlier. We rated Frank the last stream. Talk shit. Yep. Pun, KB, Snake, everyone here, man. Appreciate you guys all stopping by today. If we got nothing else, man, let's go raid Jaya. Like I said, blow her up with emotes, show her some love, drop some follows. And other than that, hope everyone else has a good night.
Man.